excited to share today's video because for me, it's a project that is an absolute necessity, and I'm relieved to have finally figured out a solution that works best for me. So in this video, we are going to make a new planner for the new year using scrapbooking materials from home and the QFUN laminator. Along with the materials used, I have also linked all of the planner pages that I designed in the description box below, and you're welcome to download and print them as they are or edit the files to meet your own needs. I have always loved the idea of using a planner because I am a very detail-oriented person, and every single year I purchase a new planner, but none of them actually have ever truly worked for me, and I stop filling them out around 2 to 3 months, if that. So I finally threw in the towel and I decided to just create my own from scratch so that I know it will contain every single thing that I want and need, and it costs way less money by using basic crafting materials from home, just essentially printer ink and paper, and the coils for binding everything together. Materials for this planner I'll be using include scrapbook paper from this paper pad from Hobby Lobby, the QFUN laminator machine with 10mm and 3mm laminate sheets, a tabs punch, a cinched machine for binding or a hole punch, and binding coils. I began by cutting my scrapbook pages out to size 8.5 inches by 11 inches in order to match my printed pages, and I will use these as my dividers between each section in my planner. I put a line of glue down the center just to keep them front and back, but you don't need to spend much time gluing them perfectly together because your laminator is going to seal them. I'm going to use my 3mm laminate sheets for these dividers and for my labeled tabs. I also used this tab punch to punch out my own tabs, and then I labeled them using Cricut Design Space. I have an additional video for how I do this, and I'll link that below if you're interested as well. So I'm using the 12-in-1 hot and cold laminating machine by QFUN, and this machine, like I mentioned, does allow you to use anywhere from 3mm to 10mm laminate sheets. So after turning it on, you can see there's a setting for cold laminate as well as 3, 5, 7, and 10mm power. There's also a reverse button. This machine is more heavy duty and has more capabilities than most laminating machines due to the heat strength. It also includes a built-in paper cutter, a round corner paper cutter, a stapler, 3 additional cutting replacement blades, 3 binder rings, a hole punch, foldable tray, 30 3mm laminating pouches, and an additional paper cutter. So with this laminator, you have all the supplies you need to create your own DIY planner besides adding your papers and binding choice. I'm going to put the setting to 10mm because the first papers I'm going to put through the machine will be my covers. And with this type of laminate, they'll be thick and sturdy and very durable. I purchased this pack from Amazon, and the sheets measure 9 by 11.5 inches, and they're clear and glossy. You can tell by the sound alone, hopefully, how much thicker these are compared to 3 or even 5 mils. So I'm going to begin with one of my cover sheets, like I mentioned. The laminate that I purchased comes with the corners already rounded, so I'm going to use my included corner punch to also round the corners of my scrapbook paper for them to match before placing them inside the laminate sheet. When placing inside, make sure you do have a slight edge of space around your scrapbook paper in order to ensure a proper seal. If your paper goes from edge to edge, the laminate will not have anything to adhere to as it is heated through the machine. You also want to make sure that you feed the laminate through the machine with the sealed end going in first. And while this goes through, I will show you what one of the other colors came out like. And while I'm waiting for the second cover to go through, I will open the pack of included laminate sheets to show you the different sizes that are included. You do get 30 sheets for free, and they are 3 mils in varying sizes. I'll be using this pack for my tabs as well as my divider pages. Now that my covers are done, I'm going to lower my setting down to 3 mils by using the switch mode key, and then I'm going to place my first divider inside the 3mm sheet. You can see that the machine takes this through very quickly. While we're waiting for all the other divider pages to go through the machine, I should mention that if you're interested in this particular laminator by QFUN, if you look up the product with the link I provided, the image may look slightly different, and that is because they upgraded the design in the time since I received this laminator. But I have been assured that the product link, the functionality, and the quality do remain unchanged. It's just an aesthetic difference. Everything else is the exact same. Additionally, while you may be looking at other QFUN laminator options, many inquire about the difference between the 888 white laminator and the 10 mil that I'm using in this video. So this informative guide that I'm showing on the screen details the specifics of the 10 mil machine that's used in this video compared to other competitors, and the highlighted red numbers on the right show the specifications of the 888 white laminator so that you can compare the two. I did make the slight mistake of laminating my dividers before adhering the tabs to them, but after I went through the process, I then realized that they probably would not have fit in the laminator sheets that I used anyway. So I pulled out the smallest laminate sheet that was included with the laminator in order to laminate my tabs, and then I recut them out with the scissors. I added just a dot of glue to impermanently attach the tabs where I wanted them on the dividers, but then I used a stapler to permanently attach them. You can avoid having to do this additional step with the tabs by just using wider laminate sheets. Now that our covers, dividers, and tabs have been laminated, it's time for our pages. The pages I have designed for my planner include using a weekly spread. When I have this open on my counter throughout the week, I can see my entire week at a glance. I have space for the dates and weather forecast, a habit and a water tracker, space for my to-do list, craft projects that I'm brainstorming, and Bible verses from my Bible study group. On the other side, I can also view my weekly meal prep plan for the entire week, including special breakfast treats that I may want to make, such as muffins or protein balls, and desserts. And then the right side is space for the grocery list of ingredients that I may need for the weekly recipes. At the bottom is additional space for random shopping needs, perhaps not meal related. Again, I have included this spread as well as the others that I'm about to share with you momentarily in the description box below. You can download the file or files and print as they are, or use them as inspiration to design and edit your own variations of these same files. I also wanted to make a monthly budget sheet, and I listed all of the bills that I keep track of throughout the month, as well as a matching calendar on the back side, where I like to jot down when the bills are due, just so I can easily see the entire month at a glance. There are 12 monthly budget sheets with 12 matching monthly calendars for the year 2026. The next document I created is a simple passwords tracker, and the fourth document is for tracking my reading throughout the year. I couldn't officially decide between two layouts, so I am attaching both for you, but essentially I have space to print a photo of your book cover that you read, color star reviews, and start to finish dates. One of the handouts has an additional book detail space for you to write your own written review. Now I'll be able to look back and see all of the books that I read in the year 2026. I also have included a sleep tracker, and then the final two relate specifically to fulfilling personal needs that I will have this year, as I am expecting a baby girl by the start of April. I have included the attachments in case there are other mamas out there who may benefit from these as well, but I did create a pumping feeding schedule and a nap schedule. I printed all of these attachments on regular, lightweight printer paper in order to be budget friendly, but if it bothers you to print double-sided and see a slight outline of the back side, you could just simply use a lighter cardstock in order to prevent that. Now that you've seen an overview of the planning pages, it is time for our last step, which is to bind everything together. I'm going to be using my cinch machine to punch holes in the laminate inserts, the covers, and the pages. If you don't have a cinch machine, you can just use a simple hole puncher. When that is finished, you're going to rotate your machine to the side in order to place your open binding coil on the tracks. I'm going to use this coil for my binding. You'll want to place it so that the wide ridges are placed into the tracks, with the thinner part of the coils closest to you in order to place the pages onto that. I find it easiest to hold my pages vertically and then push them down towards me. Remember to begin with the back of your planner pages first and work your way to the front of your planner. So what that means is the first piece that you should place down is your back cover, and the last page should be your front cover. If you don't want to use this binding method, other options include using circle binding discs, or there are also binding coils that you can manually close together yourself without the need for a cinch machine. Once all of your pages are in the coil, carefully remove everything and rotate your machine once more. You'll then place your coils inside of the press, apply pressure, and bind your coils together. And there you have it, your own homemade planner to use for the new year. I also decided I wanted a moving bookmark, so I used a scrap piece, laminated that, being sure to leave some space on the left side where I'll punch my holes, and I used my cinch machine again to do so. I then finished using a pair of scissors in order to slice into each hole. This is going to allow me to be able to easily place and remove this bookmark from week to week. You would use this same technique if you chose to use the circle discs for your binding method as well. I then added 4 more holes to the top so that I could add some matching ribbons so that my bookmark will poke out from the top of my planner. I think it would be really cute to add some charms here as well that would dangle over the front of your cover. I almost forgot to mention that on my main planner spread page, the habit tracker includes days for the entire week in order to monitor my habits, but the water tracker only includes enough glasses of water for one day. To solve this and to be able to reuse the water tracker each new day, I used a scrap piece of laminate and added a tiny piece of tape to the edge. Placed that right on top. I can now use a dry erase marker to color in my glasses of water throughout the day, wipe it clean at the end of the day before beginning anew. And when it's time for a new week, simply peel this off, flip the page, and add it to the following week. As someone who has always wanted to use a planner but never really found the right fit, I hope that you find this video as well as the free attachments helpful in discovering your own planner journey in the new year. If you have any questions while you're on that journey, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find my email in the description box below, or feel free to leave a comment. I wish you all a happy new year, and I'll see you all very soon. Until then, take care.